I definitely work out probably, I would say 6 days a week.
I would say 6 days a week.
So I don't really view it as like 6 days of like, oh, I have to work out. It's like 3 days of fun, 3 days of whatever I want to do.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining us again on 20 something. Today we're going to have an interesting conversation with
Myah.
Alright. Okay, but before then, please do also subscribe to this space if you have not, and share this video. You can look through our previous videos. There's a lot of interesting ones for you. Let's get started.
Yeah, shall we?
Okay, so Myah, what do you do?
I'm currently a process support engineer for a semiconductor company. We support different customers globally, and so I just made my first year in the role. So that's what I do currently for work.
Okay, so outside of work, what does Myah do?
I like to work out. I take my fitness and health very seriously. I like to lift. I like to mix that up with cardio, and I also really enjoy walking, going and doing yoga classes, spin classes, anything to get myself moving, because I find that when I move my body, it helps with my mental health too, mental clarity, and I feel better. Like everything is in sync when I work out. So I definitely work out probably, I would say 6 days a week.
I would say 6 days a week.
It's a super story.
Not okay. Let me say 6 days of movement. So that doesn't mean I'm doing 6 days of hard lifting or 6 days of cycling. Like, no, some days I just want to stretch my body and do a light yoga. Some days I want to go
6 days
hard.
is still a lot.
It is, but it's also fun, like something I look forward to, like in a group setting, because I find that it's really nice to have an escape and meet people who like to do the same things that you like to do.
Right.
So I don't really view it as like 6 days of like, oh, I have to work out. It's like 3 days of fun, 3 days of whatever I want to do. So you can swim. There's so many options that aren't just like running and, hard training. So
how long have you been doing this though?
A long time. So I was a student athlete in college. So all 4 years of undergrad, I played on varsity volleyball at Villanova. So I did training, a lot of training for that.
Okay, so you work and then you work out, and then what else do you do?
So a new venture that I'm getting into is content creation, and I've been enjoying something called user-generated content. So usually I promote items that I already enjoy or already use, and so it's more authentic than like an influencer promoting to their audience to buy something.
Right.
And so you don't have to have any followers or a brand or anything like that. You just market yourselves to brands, and then they use their content on their social media. So it's been pretty cool because you can start from nothing, and I've already seen results, and I'm already like 1 month into this. So it's been pretty cool just to receive products, review it, get paid for that.
Yeah.
Like that's like the best of both worlds, because you can receive PR but not have to post on your social. So I found that that's a really cool creative outlet for me, because work is very technical and very methodical, and then content creation is very whatever you want it to be. So you can talk about whatever your interests are based on whatever niche you're in. And I think that's like a good outlet for anyone, because social media is everywhere. Everyone's on TikTok, everyone's on Instagram. And I thought like I didn't have a lot to share on my page, but I thought about it, I'm like, everyone's unique. Everyone has their own story, and everyone has something to contribute. And there's an audience for everyone. So I find that that's really important to me, because I don't see representation of what I look like on social media necessarily. So I'm like, why shouldn't I post for other people? Like, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah, it does. So you work out, and now you do content creation. How are you able to, but it looks like a lot to me.
It is.
How are you able to balance all three?
So fortunately, or unfortunately, I should say. Okay. So the current state of my job, I don't really necessarily have a lot of heavy workload right now. So I'm able to put more of my energy and time into content creation. And it's fortunate in that sense that I get to spend a lot of time dedicating to my personal business and brand and what I want to do. But it's unfortunate for work, because like I find fulfillment in like my work and what I do too. So it's just kind of hard trying to navigate the delays and stuff with that issue. But for content creation, it's whatever you want it to be. So I struggle with balance a little bit because in my head, I'm like, oh, I have free time. I should be checking my emails. Oh, I have free time. I should be pitching to brands. Oh, I have free time. I should be editing this TikTok. Video. So it's really hard to turn off when, because work, you leave work, you're done. Like everyone knows that. Like whatever, I'm done. But content creation is more 24/7. You're always on. So I'm really trying to figure out how to better manage my time where I also incorporate rest, because that's really important to produce good content, to be a good worker, to feel your best self. So I'm still learning that, but this might seem crazy to a lot of people, but I'm an early morning person.
Okay.
I wake up around 6 a.m. every day. Yeah.
Even over the weekend.
Every day.
Every day.
So I don't use alarms either. Like I just naturally wake up every day when the sun rises. Like
when did you last remember that you deliberately
You could explain tire.
started waking up at 6 a.m.?
Probably for athletics, because we had 6 a.m. lifts like on Fridays, and that one day would ruin my whole week trying to wake up that early. So I was like, you know what, why don't I just start making it a rule that I just go to bed early, wake up at the same time every day. So then that one day isn't the hardest day for me. And like every day is pretty good. And I've noticed, even especially because of COVID, I was at home in 2020, like living with my parents again. It was my senior year of college. I was trying to figure out like how to navigate living at home again and like how to do this online situation. It was very strange. I know everyone knows this. I'm preaching to the choir here. Like, everyone knows that it was hard. 2020 was hard. Cool. But I bring this up because I have siblings and there's no peace and quiet. So when I wake up at 6 a.m., no one is up. So I'm like, wow, I get a few hours to myself of quiet. And I'm most productive. No one's blowing up my phone. I can just do my homework, do whatever I need to do. And I noticed that translated really well into work because, I mean, it's a little bit harder because I don't have to wake up and do any work per se, but like I can journal, I can go to the gym, I can read, I can do whatever I want. It's just a few hours that I take for myself every single morning that I think sets me up for success for the rest of the day. So I think it makes me a better worker, a better creator, everything, because it's just like, okay, I know that I have these hours, but I'm struggling with the rest aspect still, because I will, after like around 8 a.m., I'm just go up until I go to sleep. So I'm trying to incorporate more breaks and stuff like that.
I want to know this. So as you're involved in all of these, how is growth looking like? Because I'm sure you'd want to grow in work. You want to grow with your content creation, and maybe the gym is now a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But how are you incorporating growth into it? What's the plan to make sure that you're growing in both of these worlds and is not affecting each one of them?
Yeah. So I definitely see them as two totally separate things. Because at first I'm thinking like, oh, if I'm not growing in one aspect, that means I'm not growing in this aspect. But I truly treat them as two totally separate entities. So for work, growing is relative. So it's kind of difficult right now because I did like a program for the last 8 months where I'm training, and then now there's a lot of delays. So it's really hard to make any growth if there's nothing to grow from. Like there's no foundation. So I'm struggling with that because it's out of my control, really. So one way I'm trying to work on that is actively connecting with people that I've worked with in the past, touching base with them, trying to learn anything I can, always connecting with my manager, seeing what ways I can improve, what he thinks we could all be better at, or learn, or connect me with someone else that I have an interest with or something like that. But it's like always being curious and always trying to do the best that you can with what you're given. Because, I mean, I truly have no control over the situation, so I can't really be that upset that I'm not growing in the way that I hope to grow. It's just a trying time right now. And then for content creation, that's another thing. With user-generated content, it's not about followers. It's about the brands and the quality of your content. And so I feel like I'm growing pretty rapidly, I would say. So I'm not quite at a month. Like I'm like 3 weeks in, like going into my 4th week. And I've secured a paid collaboration, and then I've also secured 2 PRs And
what's PR?
So PR is when like a brand will send you a product and there's no obligation.
Review?
Yeah, okay. But there's no obligation to post.
Okay.
They just like would like to see like if what your feedback is.
Okay.
But there's no like obligation for anything. Okay. And then I'm also receiving a gifted collab, and that's where the brands will send me the product and then I create content for them instead of it's like product in lieu of payment. And I'm open to accepting offers like that since I'm just beginning and I want to learn what it's like to work with brands.
Right.
And I've been on the opposite side. I've worked for a makeup brand before, so I know what it's kind of like to reach out to influencers and all of that and like what that demand looks like. So starting out, I'm like, okay, I need to establish my foundation as like a content creator, not so much as like the professional on that side. Yeah. So it's just really interesting seeing the
Do you see yourself skewing towards one more than the other? Maybe at some point you'll be a full-time content creator and you're not working with your company no more. Do you see yourself skewing to any of them? Or maybe become a gym instructor, like full-time gym instructor? Do you see anything like that?
It's really funny you bring this up because I had this conversation with my parents a few days ago. Okay. And they're like, so are you quitting your job now to pursue content? I'm like, whoa, we're not at that discussion anywhere yet. But I guess my dream is to be a spin instructor. I'm very passionate about spin. It's more than just like a workout for me. It's I don't know, like a lifestyle, like you said, like it's more than just physical. So I'm like, okay, I'm really interested in becoming a spin instructor part-time. I would love to do content creation part-time, but I would also still love to do work part-time because I went to school for 6 years. Like, I want to put my degree to use. Like, I can't just
put it down.
Right. That's like, I'm not like 6 years of engineering. Okay. Like, I need to use that degree. But it helps for content. It helps for everything. So I'm like, it's not a waste.
Your approach to doing things. Like, your problem solving approach just seems to have been refined after that.
Definitely. It's a completely mentality. And I'm like, wait, maybe one day I'll work for a cosmetic brand again, like on the engineering side. Like, I've always wanted to do cosmetic formulation. Like, that's always been a dream. But I haven't gotten into that area yet. And, like, I'm also interested in pharmaceuticals. So, like, maybe I'll go back towards that route because, I guess first to say I have a degree in... I didn't even say that. I'm sorry. I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, and then I have a master's degree in bioengineering. My goal with those were to kind of do pharmaceuticals or venture into like cosmetics. But either way, it's just like growing your network, learning more skills, using those skills to translate to your next position or whatever, if that's within the company or not. Like, I think it's all important to try as much as you can because you never know. So there's the pros and cons to everything, but I just view it all as experience. Like,
I love that.
That's really it. But no, not content full time. Definitely not. I still want to do engineering.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say there's someone out there, they just started their new job. They're also thinking of something on the side, maybe photography, maybe content creation, maybe something. What is your best piece of advice to them right now?
I would say just post it. Because I wish someone said that to me. Okay. So I've been thinking about content creation for 6 months. Like, actively, like, I know I have videos I could edit. What if people don't like me? What if I sound funny? Okay, people don't like you at work. People don't like you at whatever you do. Like, it doesn't matter. So it's like, post it for you, not so much for other people. Because like I said, like, there's always going to be someone that resonates with your style, with what you're doing. So I just would say post your first piece of content because I feel like once you rip the Band-Aid off, it's like way easier just to keep going.
Let's just say someone who is looking at music or something. I guess the advice would be just do it.
Yeah. Or also connect with people in that industry too that can help you. I have a good friend of mine. She's a content creator part-time, and she's also working in STEM full-time. And so seeing how she's navigating that space has been really helpful for me to see, I can do it too. So I would say connect with anyone that you follow, reach out to them, message them, be like, hey, like, can I ask you a few questions? You have 5 minutes, I could chat with you about what you're doing. And I feel like that gave me a lot of inspiration and motivation to get started too. Yeah.
That's nice. Well, I guess that's about that. I hope this video is helpful. I hope that if you're sitting on that idea, if you're sitting on that project, if you're waiting for the best time, there's really not any time which is called best time. You define that. So get started when you think you want to do. Don't sit on it too long. Life is short.
Yeah. Thank you
for
having me.
Thank you. And please share our video. Please support. Please subscribe. Comment if you don't agree with us on some things we said. That is okay. They'll definitely be considered. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.
So in a week, which one of the days is your busiest?
As a PhD student, every day is a busy day for me.